Few foods are more controversial in terms of their impacts on health than coffee. It has some amazing health benefits, but personally, I don't touch it. Hi, I'm Sage. Thanks for joining me. I'm here to bring you cutting-edge, actionable health information to put you in control of your health destiny. Please support us by hitting the subscribe button and ringing the notification bell. It doesn't cost you a penny and is more helpful than you can imagine for our tiny family business. I love supporting you on your health journey, not just with educational information, but also with nutritional fuel to help you achieve your goals. You can find a link down in the description to the world's healthiest gourmet chocolates, delicious elixir blends, and the purest, most potent adaptogenic herbs. Coffee can be good or it can be bad, and there's a lot of factors here to think about. It's correlated with a lower risk of diabetes, improved insulin sensitivity, better beta cell function, lower risk of cancer, less memory loss, less depression, less progression of liver disease, and fewer strokes. All sounding pretty good, right? It also improves blood flow to the brain and protects against memory impairment. It's very high in antioxidants, it improves your metabolic rate, so it's helping with fat loss, and it's an ergogenic aid, meaning that it increases power output both in aerobic and anaerobic exercise. So those are the positives. What's the other side of the story? Well, coffee beans can be high in mycotoxins. These are toxins that are produced by mold. And so mycotoxin-free coffee certainly is a possibility. It's something you should look for, and it's a much better option than just a regular organic coffee bean that could still be quite high in mycotoxins. Now, if you need coffee to function, this is something that you become dependent on at this stage, and you're dependent on it as a stimulant, and you need to take a break and care for your HPA axis, care for your adrenals, build back that core energy reserve that you've just been depleting by relying on coffee. Now, you also have to think about what are you adding to your coffee. If you're adding milk, cream, sugar, all this stuff, you're going to seriously diminish the overall health benefits that you could potentially be getting here and turn it into something really unhealthy. Now, I say that with a caveat because if you are the kind of person who loves to have this whipped up, delicious, extravagant coffee drink with caramel sauce and whipped cream and all of it, it's all possible. You can actually do this. There are healthy ways to create that drink, and we have videos on our channel for these exact kind of things. So it's all possible. You don't have to deprive yourself of your extravagant coffee drink just to be healthy. Coffee can also increase anxiety and nervousness. This is something that too many people are dealing with and struggling with these days. So you have to be really mindful if coffee is making this better or worse for you. And coffee, if taken too late in the day, can interfere with your sleep. And this happens because caffeine has a half-life in your body ranging from 1.5 to 9.5 hours. I know it's a very broad range, right? And a half-life is the amount of time it takes for there to be half the amount of caffeine in your body. So let's say you had 1 unit of caffeine in your body. If you wait between 1.5 and 9.5 hours, now you have half a caffeine unit in your body. And the reason it's such a broad range from 1.5 to 9.5 hours is because people have different genetics in terms of their caffeine metabolism. You want to have your genetics tested and analyzed to understand if you are a slow caffeine metabolizer or a fast caffeine metabolizer. If you're a fast metabolizer, it moves through your system quite quickly and you get rid of it and you don't have so much trouble sleeping afterwards. If you're a slow caffeine metabolizer, this stuff is going to stick around and could be keeping you up. And it happens because in your brain, you have these things called adenosine receptors. And as the day goes on, they get more and more filled up with adenosine. And then eventually at the end of the day, they get really filled up and you're tired. You develop what's called sleep pressure and you're tired and you can fall asleep. While you're sleeping, the adenosine receptors get washed out, you're fresh the next day, and the whole thing starts over again. But caffeine blocks adenosine receptors. So these adenosine molecules cannot get into the receptor and build up that sleep pressure. So if you have caffeine too close to when you're going to sleep, the adenosine is not able to create that sleep pressure in your system. Now, why don't I personally touch coffee, even the great mycotoxin-free coffee beans that are out there? The reason is because I have the homozygous positive COMT gene. And what happens here is that I produce lots of neurotransmitters like other people in terms of dopamine, epinephrine, norepinephrine. I make them just like you do, but I don't get rid of them as quickly. So they can build up to quite high levels. And this has its upsides. It gives me great focus, great frontal lobe function in my brain. I can learn things really quickly. But the downside is that if I let them get too high, it can be very unhealthy. So with caffeine, it increases my production and secretion of these neurotransmitters, and I'm still not able to get rid of them quickly enough. So they build up and they build up, and temporarily this makes me feel incredible. I'm Superman for a day after having caffeine, but then these neurotransmitters that are not being detoxified fast enough quickly become irritants to my nervous system, and for several days afterwards I actually feel very sad, which is not fun at all. So I don't touch coffee, tea, matcha, yerba mate. It's not for me. It's great for a lot of people, but not for me personally. Interestingly, chocolate, I don't have any of this negative reaction to. I think it's because there's such a tiny amount of caffeine in there only. And thank goodness, right? Because I gotta be able to enjoy at least something. If you are a coffee lover, let me know what your favorite way is to enjoy caffeine down in the comments. And before you go, here's a link to a video that I think you'd enjoy watching next, and here's a link to a video that the YouTube algorithm thinks you'd enjoy watching next. And up here is a link to our website. Have a beautiful day, and look forward to seeing you all again next time.